Hello. Welcome to the Dinero Twins podcast number 19, where we're going to be talking about NFTs and how they work. We have a special guest speaker today, and I definitely am super excited for this conversation. So stay tuned.
Hi,
hey guys.
Everyone. Yes, hi, twin. Yes, so today we have a very special guest, a returning guest of ours. He's one of our elites. Today, Ariel Morel, a serial entrepreneur / educator, master coach. I mean, there's so many titles I can use for you because you do so many great things. But today we're going to talk about NFTs. So how are you, Ariel?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
We're good. Happy to be here.
We are excited.
Yes. So yeah, twin, take it away.
So for the first question that we have for you, Ariel, is what's an NFT?
So NFT, I mean, probably a lot of people have Googled it, but it stands for non-fungible token. But I like to explain it a little bit different. I don't know why they chose those words, because as soon as you hear fungible and token, I mean, you barely use those words.
Right, like what is that?
Right. So a better way to put it is like, call it a non-replaceable item, right? So for example, it's something that you can connect to a digital wallet, and then it could be verified on the blockchain. But to make it a little bit more simple, I guess like the best example I use with people, and by the way, like the technology, the way that you see the technology being used right now is very primitive, meaning that the only thing that they could use it for right now as it's evolving is to confirm articles that are collectibles. And then now it becomes a gambling system. But like to make it a little bit better, so a non-replaceable item or non-fungible token, a dollar is replaceable. There's a lot of dollars in the world. Now the Mona Lisa is not replaceable. That's one-on-one. Yes. Now the beauty about NFTs is that on the real world, like I call it the real world, not the metaverse and all that stuff, you can verify to verify that the Mona Lisa is the original. You have to bring an expert, analyze where it came from, track it, paperwork, a whole bunch of stuff. Versus when you implement an NFT technology, you can automatically identify who owns that piece of a one-on-one item in the blockchain. It could be verified. Like with your digital wallet, how is it verified? Because a lot of people also ask that question. You literally connect your digital wallet that you only have access to that wallet through what is called either a digital ledger, which is a USB. That's how you should have it connected to your digital wallet, or with your seed phrase, which is just like your password, which could be 12 to 24 words. And by just connecting that, your digital wallet to a website or an application, now you can verify that you're the owner one-on-one of that specific item. And that could be connected to real life assets, like real estate, like the first piece of NFT real estate sold like about a month ago. And it's gonna keep evolving, with sneakers, getting access to events, private events, all the clothes that people buy that are unique and then that they overpay, all that stuff. You're automatically going to be able to show like, hey, these Jordans that you see right here, they're original. They could be confirmed on the blockchain. So
wow,
that makes sense.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like, because so it applies to just about anything, not just.
Exactly, anything. And again, like the technology is so early right now. Like you hear Gary Vee and a lot of other people say, like, that's why everybody keeps saying it's so early. Like this is basically like the internet in the late 90s, early 2000s. Like anybody that gets into the business, and a lot of companies are trying to get into it right now. They're actually getting in, like all the major brands that they're all working with companies behind the scenes to bring some sort of what is called Web3, to get into Web3, which is the next phase of the internet.
Okay.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah, this stuff is like you have to take it in like a little bit at a time, and like put the puzzle together in your head to kind of understand it better, because like you said, they use a lot of terms that we normally don't use in everyday language. So
yeah
I think they're trying to confuse us a little bit.
Yeah, the beginning, because like I've been following NFTs for probably like a year and a half now. I've been investing heavily into them for like the last 7 to 8 months, because it still took me a while. Like I understood the concept, it could be verified, but once you actually invest in your first one, you kind of the pieces start coming together. Because at the beginning, I'm like, how can you verify that's one-on-one? And it's like, okay, like I get my digital wallet connected to my website, and then like I'm the only person that has access to that wallet. That's like your online bank account. And then oh, cool, like now I'm the owner one-on-one of this specific item, like nobody else could buy it. But again, like the technology is just so early that like the only use that it could find right away that became popular is with digital art and collectibles, which is multi-billion-dollar industry. Like, people buying the Pokemon cards, collecting the coins, like that. That was the most, the fastest use that people could implement. And then also it kind of became a gambling system. But then now you have companies like Adidas, they bought an NFT studio. They launched their own NFT in last November. And for example, like you like Yeezys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Yeezys too, right? So, you do the raffle, you're not going to win it, right? It's like all the bots, they go on the website and they take over and buy the sneakers. And then you have to buy on the secondary market at a higher price because it's a limited collection. And then you couldn't get the original price of $250, $150. So now you got to go to StockX and buy for $1,000. It's literally almost the same concept, but now with digital art. But where Adidas took it a step further, now they give you access to automatically win 3 raffles this year. So you don't have, if you hold the NFT, you can literally just go and you guarantee access to buy the specific limited piece of digital, real life clothing that you could buy. So, I mean, that's kind of like just a little bit of the area that this technology solves and makes easier.
Wow. And you probably got into this when you were answering the first question at the end, but what exactly do you get with an NFT, right? Like what is like probably the simplified form that if you're explaining it to like a let's say a 5th grader, they'll be able to say, okay, this is what I get. This is why I should invest in it.
Yeah, right. So it depends because there's just so many uses, but I'll probably get to the 5-year later where I'm gonna get to you ladies first because let's talk about real estate. Right, I know you ladies love real estate, right? So when the first piece of real estate sold as an NFT, a lot of people saying like, what's the benefit? If you go to a traditional, you buy a house, it could take like weeks, if not months, for everything to be done, for the loan to process, for you to get the paperwork. Now, thanks to NFT technology, you can buy a house and within minutes, you immediately get ownership of that asset in minutes. Wow. Like, so in minutes, you pay cash, right? And then the beautiful part about it, you pay cash right after, you can take a loan against your asset, like in the next 15 to 20 minutes. While before, the same process will take 1 to 3 months. So now you can immediately like verify, I'm the owner of this house. Obviously, you're not gonna get the keys as soon as you buy it. You're gonna have to go to the office and still sign some real life paperwork. But on paper, right away, within minutes, you can get immediate ownership. Wow. And all of this is done through what is called smart contract, which is just a whole bunch of code that says like, if you send this amount of Ethereum or this cryptocurrency, we're gonna send you this bag that is connected to a real life asset, and it must be held on an LLC because right now cryptocurrency is recognized as a legal tender on a balance sheet for when it's held in a company. At the personal level, it can be done, but I don't think that's for like a 5-year-old, but
It was frost. It was frost. We will take it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get into what makes the NFT valuable. So obviously, if it's linked to a piece of real estate, we know that there's a physical asset, right? The physical asset gives it value. But let's say that it's like the art world, right? I know that you're heavily involved with like trading JPEGs, right? Images and things like that. So what makes a JPEG, let's say, valuable? What gives it value? Is it the demand for that specific type of art? Or just explain it to us so we can understand how that side of it.
Yeah, it's a lot of things, but the number one thing is all about the utility. What do I get in exchange for holding that NFT? For example, have you heard about Fortnite, the game that everybody was playing for 3 years? Mm-hmm. And then you ever heard of the kids asking for the month credit card to buy a whole bunch of skins?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe this will be for the 5-year-old. So imagine now that you can buy a skin for your character in the game. And let's say you don't like the skin anymore, you could sell it. You could resell it and then get your money back, right? So that a lot of companies right now are basically implementing this type of games that are called play to earn, on which you basically go ahead, you start playing the game. Some people are spending real life money to buy skins, to buy weapons and the whole nine, and they're being sold as NFTs. So if you buy the NFT early, and then maybe there's only like 1,000 guns on the game, and then you have somebody else that wants to get that gun, but they were not one of the first ones to buy the NFT. They might pay more. So now the value of the NFT goes up. So that's just one example, of the utility. Also, the digital scarcity, knowing that it might be only 5,000 items or 3,000 collectible items, one-on-one. So you have the scarcity plus the real life utility. Oh, like, you know what, you hold this NFT, now you might be able to go to Coachella, like Coachella launched their own NFT. That gives you lifetime access. So for me as an investor, I might spend $5,000, $10,000 on the NFT. And then if you wanna, in the future, if I wanna sell it, I could do that, or I could keep using it. And like 2 years later, you know what, like I really want a lifetime pass. I bought it for 10,000. Now you really want the pass. Like, you know what, I'm gonna give him 20,000. And you can send somebody an offer and I'm looking, okay, like, you know what, like I just double my money, so I might just sell it. So wow. the scarcity and also adding the real life utility, that's what adds value to the NFT.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, so the limited inventory, the controlled inventory, right?
Exactly.
And then the demand that comes with whatever the item is.
Yeah, that and let me give you another example too, like especially in our field, in the education field, where like coaching people, helping them, with financial literacy. Let's say like I'm selling a course, right? I'm planning on doing this later in the year. So I'm selling, I don't know, like I might say, I'm gonna open 1,000 spots. I'm gonna coach 1,000 people. I'm gonna teach them how to start their own tax strategy business, or small business consulting. They buy my course for $1,000. If they hold the NFT, I'm also gonna be throwing one event towards it in the year, right? And if you hold it, the NFT, you can go in for free, right? So I'm adding a lot of value to that specific NFT. So you go and take the course, but now you see value attending the events. You got so much value, like, your life might have changed. You actually execute on the information, but I'm only doing 1,000. And if you're not in that 1,000 group that owns the NFT, like you're not gonna get access to my event. You're not gonna get access to my course. And now the word spreading. Oh my God, like this is really good. What happens? People from the outside, they want to go to the event, but they can't. So they will have to buy the NFT. And then now, you know what? Like I bought it for 1,000, but I'll be willing to sell it for 5,000. So for now, for you as a consumer that you bought that course and you want access to the real life event, now it even has more value, because I could take the course, go to one event, get my value, then I could sell it and get my money back. For me as the creator of the NFT, okay, like people are saying, oh, like what about the next customer? So you get a royalties every time the NFT sells. You can sell like a 5, 10%, 20%. That part is up to you. So in that part, keep a customer happy. There's no need for a chargeback. Even you don't like the course, I'm not gonna take it. Sell it, get your money back. And now also the price goes up because more people want to get in, but it's only 1,000 people. You want to be make an offer to somebody. And now like the price keeps going up and up because people don't want to sell. People want access to that NFT and the utility that it brings, and the value keeps going up.
Yeah, that's going to change a lot of industries.
Oh, yeah, they're really
change the world. I mean, I just thought about like concert tickets, like Bad Bunny, these concerts that.
Oh, and Bad Bunny drops an NFT.
Like just artists artists really, like, trying to go get into an event that they host, or even, the regular influencer that's trying to like gather people in a room. I mean, it's going to be life-changing. I never really thought about that little piece of it. So that's great.
Yeah, like even with the Super Bowl, there was a company that they're an event planning company. They launched an NFT, only 100 tickets for like almost $10,000 to $20,000. They have different packages and different NFTs, and the NFT will give you access to a Super Bowl private party, a suite, and on top of that, you already know anybody that invested that money to get into the Super Bowl party also has money. So now it gives you an opportunity to network with other individuals. So and they sold out. They make a thing like $1.3 million. That company.
Wow.
Sanity.
Wild, seriously.
That's how insane the money is on this industry.
Now, I do have a question about that, Ariel, because originally my question was going to be, why are NFT sellings in the millions? But we kind of already determined that because of supply and demand. Now, is the supply and demand, or in this case, the supply, is that something that's dictated by like what it entails to actually create an NFT, or do they just decide, what, I'm only going to make 500 of these NFTs, and they just set that amount? Do you know what determines that?
That depends on the founders, right? Like it depends how much money they're trying to crowdfund, because it's kind of like a Kickstarter. Let's say you're a company and you want to launch a new product, like I'm going to be offering shirts. So instead of me going to get a loan, I could tell you know what, like I'm gonna release 1,000 shirts because I need $1 million. I'm gonna sell it like a specific amount of Ethereum that equates to the $1 million if it sells out. And then you know now you don't have to go to the bank. But then for me, like for a company, like that's the budget that I set up for that. So the beautiful part about also if you're a company doing that, again, you don't need to go get a loan. Like you could have your customers and your fans like basically take care of that for you. You provide a lot of value back, like something that you know they can make money back somehow, or maybe they just want the shirt, provide a great quality shirt, and then now you don't have to even get involved with the bank, and you can get those funds like in minutes. You know, the project sells out like in minutes, sometimes an hour. Like I'm talking about like companies, like a company the other day made like $70 million in a day. At first, and then yeah, it's just crazy.
And that's entirely cutting out the middleman. In other words,
yeah,
that's so fascinating.
This
is so revolutionary.
A people's business. Yeah, it's for the people.
For the people, by the people.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Like if you have an audience in 2022. And you know you have a good product you can sell your customers, so you're looking to launch a product but you're having issues with you know having fun, and you have a loyal fan base or audience, you can launch a product as an NFT and make it in a way that you know they get a lot of value based on whatever it is that utility that's connected to an NFT. So you're rewarding your fans, and then your fans are rewarding you right away, like they're supporting you at the same time. So you have an audience, like, and you are selling a product, like you somehow connect NFT technology, you are going to make a lot of money, and you're also going to have a lot of happy clients as long as the utility is delivered properly, is communicated the way that it's supposed to be. And you know, so you don't scam your audience, because some people do that. But
okay, so listen, now that I think NFTs are here to stay, because that's something that a lot of people are like, is this like temporary? Is this a phase? Like, you know, is it going to get regulated at some point? What's your thought on that? What's your thought on, like, you know, of course, big government and, you know, all those agencies are going to want to put their hands in it at some point. But right now, is it being regulated, and or is there a way to report your earnings made through NFT sales?
There's no regulation right now. There's some guidance from the government. They have been trying to figure out how to tax cryptocurrencies since 2014. So, you know, they have released a lot of publications since then. They just signed an executive order the other day. You know, kind of like a guidance, like you should report, you know, just being ethical, but this is the truth about it. The whole world cryptocurrency was built on what is called decentralization. When you, just like you said, when you call in the middleman, you know, when you call like a government or financial institution from controlling the money, and being the middleman, like for example, like if I send you a wire, depending on the type of account that I have or you have, that wire, the bank gets the money in seconds, if not minutes. Now, you might have access to that money for a couple of business days, right? And you know, and the truth is that the bank is going to take that money, they're going to reinvest it overnight, they're going to provide loans in the whole night. They only need to keep 10% of the amount of money they're lending on their balance sheet. So they're making money with your money and they're holding it, and then you're being inconvenienced because it was a weekend. Because they just decided, you know what, for security purposes, there's nothing you could do. I know because they still work for the banks, you know, at a very high level. So that cryptocurrency, like, it resolves that issue, making everything decentralized, putting down the middleman, and kind of like putting back the control back to the people. So you have two types of wallets. You have a decentralized wallet and one that's centralized. If it's centralized, it means that they're reporting the activity on that wallet to the government, and they're getting your KYC, your know your customer, which is just your IDs and all that stuff. On a decentralized wallet, you can literally just download it to your computer, open it, create it. That's it. You don't have to add any ID. Nobody knows who owns the wallet besides your number. But that also a number is public on what is called the blockchain. So it's like an online digital ledger that all the transactions are there visibly, right? So the government right now basically wants you to report, like, hey, like I bought this NFT, sold and made money. The price of that cryptocurrency, Ethereum, Solana, whatever platform you use, was this amount, and you know you get taxed based on the cost basis. But I'm not gonna get into it as much. Yeah. So, but right now, the truth of the matter is optional. Like if you have a centralized wallet, you know, there's no way the government can know. But at the same time, I will always recommend to report your gains, so you don't get in trouble. Because one way or another, they might find out in the future. I don't know. I don't mess with the Uncle Sam. I do always people know how to benefit from what they say, what the guidance that they have, but it's not really regulated right now.
Okay, like you said, yeah, It will be for sure. And
Yeah.
you know, it's just it's early in the game, so folks definitely need to just keep learning about this whole thing, this whole world, right? And just figuring out how they can create like that product that you mentioned, or that exclusivity of a thing that they can market and sell and get royalties back on.
100%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
So I really feel like this has been extremely informative, and it's just adding on to the level of understanding, because I think NFT is still very new to people and they're trying to grasp exactly what it is, right? But I know you mentioned like so many industries, so many companies that are, you know, already revolutionizing the NFT world, or, you know, picking up on it. What are the two biggest industries in your opinion, Ariel, that will be impacted the most by the use of NFTs?
Well, right now, the music industry is the first one that comes to my mind. Like, you know, right now you're an artist, you have to sign with a label. They get most of your royalties, they control the money. What a lot of artists are doing, I think Tory Lanez did this and he made, I forgot how much money, maybe like $15-20 million or something like that. Now, your fans are buying the album directly from you as an NFT. They they have fractional ownership of that album, and then whatever royalties that makes, that part of that money gets sent back to the NFT holders.
Wow.
So now you're giving back the power to the artists, and you give them a chance to create. If they actually have an audience and people really like their music, their fans can support them directly without getting a you know, like a digital recording agency involved. So that's a huge industry that's been disrupted. I think that the financial services industry is already getting disrupted, like with the first piece of real estate. Just imagine that, like if you have the cash, or even you get a loan on the side, and then to buy a house cash, you can have ownership of that house within minutes. All that paperwork, the title, all that stuff, all of that's transferred to you within minutes. While before it would take a couple of weeks, it would take a month or 2 months. So, and you know already, like I know you have bought a couple of houses that. That's why I think top 5 most stressful things you could do here in the United States. It's stressful getting all that paperwork. Now you just like click, buy. Oh, I want a house. Right. Oh, you want a loan? Click, click, click. Like you get a loan against a property same day.
Yeah, and this is gonna be life-changing for investors that rehab, that fix and flip, because it's gonna cut down on their time of acquisition, right? They're gonna have the cash ready, they're gonna buy it, and then within minutes, within a day or two, they can start, you know, the process of getting it ready for rehab. And that's gonna be tremendous for the industry, for sure.
100%. I mean, literally, and that just happened the first time in Tampa. I think it sold for $650,000. Yeah. The first property here in Tampa, Florida, because the governor here in Florida, it's really cryptocurrency friendly.
Right.
So he bought a digital property, is what you're saying?
No, it's a real, like an actual house. Somebody sold their house as an NFT, that instead of going through the bank and going through a middleman, they literally just went on a website. They had the money on their digital wallet. They clicked, purchase, that's it.
Oh. The contract to the ownership of the property was purchased. The contract to own that property, it was under an LLC. So now they have legal ownership of the physical asset. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
To break down probably a little bit better, so the LLC was the actual owner of the property. Then because the NFT was being held on the balance sheet of that LLC, a smart contract is connected to the blockchain saying this NFT holds the utility is specifically this piece of real estate, this real piece of real estate, right? And then because why is under an LLC? Because right now the personal level, I think only in Arizona and maybe Vermont are the only places that they recognize cryptocurrency as a legal tender at the personal level. But as an LLC, it's recognized in all states. So by law, because it was just all a legal issue. Like, okay, you buy an NFT, how can I sue you? You don't deliver my piece of real estate. If it's under an LLC, it's recognized as a legal tender, like it's an actual asset. So the smart contract is held. It could be put in court, like for you to sue somebody, they don't deliver on the house. So that was a big change that happened.
It protects the transaction to have it in an LLC. Yeah. Yeah, amazing. This stuff is gonna be it's only the beginning, guys. This is gonna be
so intriguing to me. I just want to keep learning more. Like, I don't want this conversation to end.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. It's like for the people listening, whoever like takes this information, it could literally change your life, because they call all this like Web3, and I could talk about that later. But Anybody starts creating anything related to the blockchain and Web3, you start building. Let's say you wanted to, you become the service provider for people that are utilizing this technology. For example, right now, like something that an idea that I even think about, but I don't know if I'm going to implement it. That's why I'm going to say it. If somebody wants to do it, go ahead. Let's say you create a QuickBooks for NFTs and trading cryptocurrency. Because right now it's a huge issue that people have. Like, how are we getting taxed? Nobody knows. How can you keep track of all the transactions? What's going on? You create a software, boom, you probably make $1 billion. So whoever becomes a service provider, let's say you want to learn about NFTs, you learn how to create a project. Now you're going to have so many other companies that want to get into the game that they just don't know how, and you already my bad, and you already know how to do it. Now you create an agency and you charge. We already have other people. I don't know, $20,000, $30,000, so your company can make $1 million, or maybe want a percentage of the sale price. So if you start creating and you start providing services Web3 related, you're gonna become a millionaire.
Yeah, this is huge for anyone that's technology driven. But like you said, it's gonna create other industries, other types of businesses, because it's gonna require so much, right? Because it's a whole new thing evolving. So as it evolves, people are going to have different needs with it, right? I want to learn how to use it. I want to learn how to keep track of it. I want to learn how to keep things in order, like QuickBooks, like one of those programs. So it's going to create so much potential.
That and social media, like, I mean, there's a company right now that instead of people giving you likes and double tapping your content, when you double tap, you send that person money. It might be a couple cents, but now imagine you get 100 likes, you might make $3 on a post, $5, who knows? So now, because it removes all that. I don't remember right now. I don't remember right now. I think it's still being developed, but like I think it's either already out there. So I didn't come prepared like to provide that info, but yeah, like basically you create great content, you get money back. Like people, oh, you know what, I really like this. Let me send like 5 cents, 10 cents. And then now you're making money directly from the consumer, removing the middleman, and now you don't see all those advertisements, because that's the thing. Like people don't like ads anymore.
Right. Wow. I mean, Ariel, thank you so much. I feel like you added so much value during this call. And if anybody watching, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do so. Ariel, how can people learn more about NFTs? How can they get in contact with you? What do you have for them?
They could probably follow my page at Morel. I do digital education. I wasn't planning on doing an NFT course. I think last time we talked about it, but here's the truth of the matter. It's a very complicated industry to get in at the beginning to understand it. So there's a lot of scams. I personally, when I first started getting into it, I lost a lot of money. I lost like $6,000, $7,000. Like I got scammed. At first time I ever got in scam online, but that's how good these people are, because there's anonymity. So I say, you know what? If I lost that amount of money, which I'm super careful and I'm really good with computers and all that stuff. What about the other people that this becomes really complicated? So I say, you know what? Let me just create a course to help people out to invest, make money. I mean, at one point, I think when I was actively investing, I was making like anywhere between $3,000 to $7,000 a week as a hobby. And then I say, you know what? Like I want people to get this information, and so they can start making money. And also, if they decide to get in, they don't have to lose money, because in that world, the NFT world, when you get scammed the first time, they call it your entry point. That's how you get into now you're an actual investor, which is messed up, but it's just not a lot of education on how to do everything properly. So I do have some information to help people out.
Wow. Well, you heard it here first. We definitely want to make sure that we go check out Ariel's course, because you don't want to, I feel like when I think about what you just mentioned, I think about it like the initiation of like getting into a sorority. You have to like go through all these things. It's like getting into NFTs. We don't want that to be a norm though, right? The norm should not be, oh, you have to get scammed to learn how to do something, right? So why not learn from somebody who's done it?
Yeah, it's like pledging the frat. Yeah, I'm in a frat too, so I know.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Ariel. Honestly, so much
Ariel. Yeah, thank you guys. This was a great conversation. It's always nice to have you on. So Ariel was on with us on episode 12, where you talked about tax strategy. So for those of you guys listening, and if you love this conversation, go back to episode 12. Ariel, we want to thank you again for being here. We're going to have you back again. I hope you don't ignore our phone calls when we call you, because we're going to pull you back in.
We're cousins, remember?
That's why we're cousins.
Thank you for
All right,
having me.
guys. Well, till the next time. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Ariel. Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye, guys.